and welcome to part 3 of Ask the Warrior for the 2nd of October 2014. If you haven't seen the other 2 parts, go check them out. So let's dive into the next set of questions, and this should hopefully be the last set, and then we will move on to Twitter, Facebook and Patreon questions. Next set of questions come from Down with Plankers. Do you like the Walking Dead TV series? I've kind of already answered that in the past question. I like it, it's just gone kind of shitty over a while. Do you read the Walking Dead comics? This is from the same person. I intend to, haven't yet. I tend to like to do that every now and then, is read the source material of any adapted material. Like The Hunger Games, I read the books. Percy Jackson movie, I've read the books. Lord of the Rings, tried to read the books, couldn't get into them. And Dragon, you get what I'm going with. So I do intend to read them, I just haven't had a chance to pick them up yet. And also, they're fucking expensive to get the compendiums, and I don't have that kind of money to spare, sadly. Next question. Is there something you like or dislike about the Walking Dead Season 2 game? I liked it overall. And if you want to know more, go check out my review. So yeah, go check out my review. If you haven't seen all my playthrough, it's up to you. You can tell what I liked in it. I like some aspects, then like I prefer if you just go watch my review or something. It's up on the channel, go check it out if you haven't already, or check out my playthrough, that kind of thing. Any predictions on what... Sorry, the inks actually went out a little bit here, so it's difficult to read. Any predictions on what we're going to see in The Walking Dead Season 3? We're going to see one of two things. The continuation of Clementine's story, set months later, or maybe even a couple years later, where you're either in the safe haven or the mall or on your own, or it's going to be an entirely new set of characters, and I think that's what's going to happen. I'm very much leaning towards the fact that it's going to be an entirely new set of characters, a new story, or it'll be, maybe you'll play Kenny if you... Actually, I'm not spoiling anything. I think I'm hoping for a new set of characters. Don't get me wrong, I love Clementine. I would love to see what happens to her. I prefer that be done in maybe a standalone DLC. But I would like to see some new characters in the Walking Dead universe. Just personally. That's me personally. I think that's what's going to happen. But it all depends if they even do a Season 3. It's up to Telltale if they do that. They've got a lot on their plate at the moment, so I don't know. Any favourite characters in the Walking Dead game, TV series, or comic? Lee, Kenny, Clementine. I liked Rick for a bit, but I don't want to like the Walking Dead TV series new as Glenn. I love Glenn, he's awesome. And Daryl, can't go wrong with Daryl. Comic haven't read, so I can't say anything on that. I liked Bonnie for a bit, but she kind of went wrong. It's difficult. I can't think of all characters off the top of my head. It's been a while, but my favourite ones are Kenny, Lee, and Clementine. Those are my 3 for the entire Walking Dead. So yeah, I like those ones. Sorry, I haven't gone any. I can't go into too much detail without going into spoilers. Sorry, so do apologise. Next question is from Captain Welsh Johnson. First question. Do you believe that the Maker and or the Elven gods actually exist in the Dragon Age universe? Why or why not? They exist. We know they exist. It hasn't been proven, but we do know that they actually do exist, especially since the Fade exists, and places like the Golden, which is now the Black City, exist. And that there is actually a realm where these creatures could exist. I do think that the Maker I do think that they exist. Whether or not they have an influence on the world is debatable, but I do think that they do exist, and that they have influenced in some way, shape or form, but they haven't influenced them because either they've been too busy or they're dead. One of the two. But they do exist. There's no ifs, buts, or what's about it. They do exist. There's too much evidence in the series so far to say they don't exist. They may just be very, very powerful spirits. That's all it could be. We don't know. So hopefully we'll find it in Dragon Age Inquisition, or not. It depends. Next question from Johnson is In your opinion, which of these would be the best protagonist for a NDA from a story perspective? A gay elven inquisitor or a straight elven inquisitor? Sexuality has nothing to do with the character. Sexuality is merely a small factor in a character. It is not a defining characteristic. You do not define someone by their sexuality. And I'm going to have to skip that question. I don't want to say it's offensive because it really is just a question. I don't think that question is valid. Sorry, Johnson, I probably should have read this in advance. I do apologise. No disrespect or anything to you. I just don't think that question's a valid question to ask. And I'll leave it in. Sexuality has nothing to do with a character, in my opinion. It is a small factor of a character that you take into consideration, but you do not define a character as being gay or straight, in my opinion. You never do that. I don't walk around and you wouldn't define me by being, oh, you're that bisexual Scottish guy. No, I'm that Scottish guy. Do not call me that bisexual Scottish guy. I'm just Scottish. So yeah, I do apologise. I'm trying to not sound offensive, but I don't think that's a good question, in my opinion, and I refuse to answer it. Well, no, don't refuse. I choose not to answer it. So yeah, sorry, Johnson, but yeah, that's a really bad question. I've got to be honest. Next set of questions comes from Shemek. What do you think of the whole Gamersgate controversy? I have not been paying too much attention to this Gamersgate situation or controversy. For those who don't know, it's something on it kind of all started with Andrea, what's her name again? The whole female, what was it again? I can't remember the lady's name, and I don't particularly care. I don't agree with her personally. I don't know too much about it, and to answer it, I am not going to say anything on it because I don't know enough to talk about it. If you want someone who knows how to talk about it, go check out Boogie to 988. He actually knows what he's talking about, and he's been discussing it on his channel every now and then. I'm not going to talk about it because it's something I'd rather just avoid, if I'm going to be honest. But if enough he's asked me about it, I will have to do my research and look this stuff up. But right now, I don't know enough about it to talk about it, so I'm going to have to skip that question. So I do apologise, Shemek. Now, question 2 from Shemek. If a genie asked you to choose any power from an animated TV series, Avatar is not included. It should be, because anime is short for animation, and Avatar is animation. Fuck you. What would you choose? Oh yeah, the genie forced you to choose based on practicality. Based on practicality. Based on practicality. Okay, Fullmetal Alchemist Edward Elric's powers. Power of alchemy. Because I can make anything with that. So yeah, I'll go with that. I'll go with Edward Elric because it's practical, it's awesome, and I'd be powerful. There, that's it. And plus, I could just go, shit, I need a fork. Fork. I want his powers. They're awesome. Just there, done, dusted. That was easy. Next question. Do you think the Elder One is connected to Flemeth? Hell yep, she's connected to everything. Flemeth has been one of the major factors in both Dragon Age games. She's going to be in this game. She's going to make an appearance. I would not be surprised if she was connected to the Elder One in some way, shape, or form. I'm pretty sure she's connected in some way, shape, or form. I have theories. I'll do that another time. So yeah. Next question from Shemek. Why does everyone hate Aquaman? No, everyone hates Aquaman. Aquaman's awesome. Aquaman's a badass. Strong, powerful, king of the sea. Over 75% of the world. Yeah. I'm going to say everyone should love Aquaman. Because it's outrageous that no one likes him. In all honesty, the main reason people don't like him is because they just think he's the guy that talks to fish. And he's not. He's super strong, fast, virtually bulletproof. Like, he lives under the sea at the bottom of the ocean. Do you have any idea how many atmospheres worth of pressure is under there? He's probably as tough as Superman. the main reason is because of people just see him as the guy who talks to fish. He isn't. He's the king of the sea. He kicks ass. He's awesome. It's just a running joke that has been disproven. It's easily disproven. There, done and dusted. Go watch Justice League the animated series or Justice League Unlimited, and you'll see how fucking badass Aquaman is. Or go read the comics. Apparently the comics are good. The whole Super Friends thing from the early 70s or 80s or something like that made him look like a fucking pansy. He ain't a fucking pansy. He's awesome, badass, and could kick anyone's arse. Even Superman. Is this the last question from Shimmick? Yep, this is the last question from Shimmick. Do you think Scotland made the right choice by staying in the UK? Okay, I got the same question earlier on. I'll answer it right here. Let me just double check there isn't a more detailed question. Nope. Okay. Me, personally, if you can't tell, I'm proud to be Scottish. As anyone would be proud of the nation that they are part of. If you don't know, I'll say it right here, I've made it public, I voted yes for independence. Because I honestly believe that the country I call home, my home, Scotland, is better off apart from the United Kingdom. Because, let's face it, the United Kingdom, what is it? It's a united set of kingdoms. And also, it's been proven the English government take advantage of the countries that that's part of the United Kingdom. This is the Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland are the remnants of the British Empire. These are the small parts of land that England owns. Everywhere else has become separated from them. And they don't treat those countries well. Even though they've promised to treat this country better, they haven't. It's been proven that they've shortchanged us. They've taken stuff from us, and one of the biggest factors is they stuck their fucking nuclear bombs up here. That I live in the city where these nuclear bombs are. I can walk. I'm serious. I can walk there in about an hour or two. I know where they are, and they're in my home. I don't want them here. There's a lot of factors to consider, but I honestly believe that Scotland would have been better off separated from the United Kingdom. I honestly do. That is my personal belief, and I think that it was the wrong decision that came out for me personally. But at the same time, the majority voted no. Even though, and this is again conspiracy things, I have done my research, there is valid evidence that there was tampering in the voting. There is evidence that the Scottish independence referendum was tampered with in some way, shape or form, with ballot boxes being stuffed with no votes and various other even ballots being changed. There is evidence that there was there was possibility of vote rigging, and even some of the politicians have said stuff that kind of leads way to that. I don't trust politicians, if you can't tell. And I do believe that there was some form of this is about conspiracy, but I do believe that there was some form of vote rigging in the Scottish independence referendum. I very much believe so, because everything beforehand, before the referendum, led way to people voting yes. I honestly believe that the amount of effort that was put into the yes campaign and the amount of people, I didn't know. I only knew 2 people who were going to vote no. Only 2 people. Everyone else I knew was voting yes. And it's been proven by petitions and Facebook pages that there are plenty of people who think Scotland should be independent. I've signed a few petitions, I'm not going to lie, because I honestly want a revote or a recount, because if there was evidence of tampering, it needs to be investigated and proven, and there needs to be a revote or a recount. Well, the votes are destroyed now, so there needs to be a revote in the Scottish referendum, and I honestly predict that within the next 10 years there will be another Scottish independence referendum. I guarantee it, if not sooner, because if England, the English government, do not keep the promises that they have stated within 6 months of the referendum, we can technically, legally, disbar from the United Kingdom and ask for another referendum, or just leave the United Kingdom in general from what I've been able to gather. And I hope that happens. I honestly think Scotland would be better off as an independent nation. Me personally. There is another thing I want to talk about, but I'm going to avoid it because I don't want to end up shouting and raving. I do not trust the English government. I do not trust my own government sometimes, but the English government especially I do not trust. They are corrupt beyond belief, and I believe, and they are filled with posh people, and I honestly do not know how David Cameron got into fucking power. He is a pompous, ignorant, spoiled, posh idiot. At least that's what I think. I don't know him personally. I don't want to know him personally, because I'd punch him. I don't trust the English government. I think Scotland would have been better off voting yes, and I honestly do believe that there was some form of vote tampering or vote rigging in the independence referendum. I firmly believe that, and I want a revote or a recount, and I'm not alone in that thing. I want Scotland to be independent because I believe it's the best for this country and the best for the place I call home. I honestly believe that. And that's why I voted yes. I didn't vote yes because I'm an idiot. I voted yes because I believe Scotland deserves to be independent and can stand alone and can be a proud country. And I'm going to talk. I have to talk about it because I know I'm going to get asked about it. If you follow me on Twitter, I've already stated this. The events that occurred after the Scottish independence referendum, the riots in my hometown, literally 10 miles away from me, no more, where Unionists, who were the people who were voting no, and independence people who were voting yes, got involved in a riot, and police had to be called in. It has been proven that it was the Unionists that did start it all off. Those were the ones that did the protesting, basically showing off that we voted, we chose this. I'm not judging anyone who voted no. I'm judging the people who were down there who burned. I don't have the flag with me, but they burned this. They burned this flag. That hurt me. I'm proud of this country. I'm proud to be Scottish. And if you burned this saltire and that down in Glasgow city centre, if you burned it, you have not only insulted me, you have insulted this nation and the people of Scotland. And I have no respect for you. And I do not want to know you. If you know me, or have known me in your life, and you burned a saltire, do not talk to me. Ever. Because that is the biggest insult you can do to a Scotsman. Someone who's proud of their country. And I do know there are people out there who agree with me. From any country, if someone burned your flag in front of you, you would be pissed. And to anyone who did that down there that day, you are not Scottish. You're disrespectful. And I hope you got caught. And I do not want to talk to you. I'm proud of that flag. I'm proud to be Scottish. And you insulted that. I need to get off this topic before I end up raging. I was pissed. I'm not going to lie. I was angry. I'm still angry at the events of that day in Glasgow, where Unionists fought with Scottish independence people, and someone died that day, and people were assaulted, terrorised, and someone lost their life that day. That day insulted, and it's a black day in Scotland. Still hurts. It still hurts, I'm not going to lie. But yeah. I've said my piece. This will be the last time I'll probably talk about this in a video. I hope. But yeah. That's what I think. Sorry I got deep there. Sorry if I offended if you, and I don't care if I offended anyone who burnt a Saltire with that statement I just said, because I meant it. It's only aimed at those who burnt the Saltire and was involved in the riots, not anyone else. I am not judging the No campaign. I'm not judging the Yes campaign. I'm judging a small part of the Unionists and a small part of the Yes voters independent, the Better Together and the Yes Scotland one. I am judging the parties who were in the small majority of people who were involved in those riots. I am not judging either party or campaign. I am judging the people and the disrespectful people in those factions on both sides. I'm going to move on to another question before I end up saying something else I'm going to end up getting regretted for. Next set of questions comes from Rick. And his first question is, I'm going to repeat a question from last time. Were you going to make that video about your Dragon Age save file? When are you, with your Hawk and blah, basically when am I going to make that save file? Unfortunately, not until I can record the Dragon Age Keep, because unfortunately I've actually lost my Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2 save files. I actually booted up both games a couple of days ago to actually sit down and record that specific video, and the saves were gone. I do not know where they went to. I have no idea where they are, but they are gone. So I will wait until the Keep is officially launched, and then I will do a whole video going through the Keep and all of my choices and the save files, with hopefully maybe some gameplay in between it. But at the moment, I actually can't record that because I don't have the files, sadly. So I do apologise for that. So yeah, I'm sorry. Next question. What webcomics do you read? I read the Crossed webcomic, and that's about it. I don't read that many, sorry. Can you cook? Not well. I can cook some stuff. I can make my own meals, and I can make homemade burgers and garlic flavoured chips and bits and bobs here or there, but I'm not a cook. I don't consider myself a chef or a cook. I consider myself a preparer of food. I would like to learn to cook more, but I don't want to do it with my mum's money. I want to do it my own. I want to learn myself. I do have a couple ideas for stuff I want to make, but right now I can't do that. So yeah, I can cook a bit. What language would you like to learn if you could? Quinlet, the Canary language perhaps. Elven, and I wouldn't mind learning the Canary language. That would be an interesting one. I wouldn't mind learning Elven though. Elvania would be an interesting language. And last question from Rick. Is it weird that I have a huge crush on GamerMD A3? Yes it is. Yes it is extremely fucking weird. And you should feel bad about it. You sick fuck. I'm just fucking messing with you. It's not bad. I've got a crush on people as well. A crush is a crush. I'm not going to judge anyone on it. Like, I've had plenty of crushes in my life, even on fictional characters. So yeah, no, it's not weird. Next set, last set of questions are from Undead Elvis. First question is, do you regret buying the next gen console as early as you did, considering not many games have lived up to the hype? Do I regret buying my PS4? A little bit. Mainly because there is not that many there's not that many games out that I've liked. The only game, if I can get my library here, Shadows of Mordor is good so far. Murdered Soul Suspect was a really good story, just not very much gameplay. Watch Dogs was a massive disappointment. Infamous Second Son was good, enjoyable, had a decent story. And Wolfenstein was just mindless bloodshed and gore and a decent story. So that's my entire PlayStation 4 library. Not including the games I've downloaded, like Stick It to the Man and one or two others. But I don't regret buying it as early as I did. I do have a little bit of regret, I'm not going to lie, because there aren't that many games that I've absolutely loved. There's only a handful of games I've enjoyed. Other than that, I would definitely say still wait to buy a PS4. Unless you're going to buy the other games maybe on the PlayStation, like Last of Us Remastered, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, GTA 5. If you haven't, I would say buy a PS4 if you want to get those remasters if you haven't played them already, because why not, in my opinion. But I still enjoy my PS4. I still think it was a decent purchase, but I kind of wish there were more games out for it. That's all I'm going to say on that. Next question is, what is your biggest fear about Dragon Age 3 considering what we know already? My biggest fear is that I don't know. There's too many to consider. I'd have to say that it won't live up to the hype. That's my main concern. I doubt it will, but that's my main fear, that it won't live up to the hype, and they might have promised that BioWare may have promised too much, like they did with Mass Effect 3 years. They may have promised too much and may not be able to deliver on all of it. But I have faith in BioWare that I think they will be able. I think they learned a lesson from Mass Effect 3. Next question is, what are you looking forward to, the AC Unity or AC Rogue, and reasons why? I'm not looking forward to them in the slightest because Assassin's Creed Black Flag was fucking awesome and I have no intention of picking those two up. There. Will you pick up Alien Isolation? Last question. Sorry. If I can, I will pick up Alien Isolation. It looks like an interesting game. I can definitely see it being fun. My only problem with it is it's another YouTube game. It's a game that was made, while it has been faithful to the Alien franchise, it's a game that was made to be played by YouTubers. That's it. That's this. Same reason games like Slender, Amnesia, and various other games were made. They're made to be played by YouTubers. So, if I can get permission, I'll record me playing Alien Isolation if you want. I will pick it up. Maybe not on release date, but I will pick it up. So yeah, that was the last set of questions. I'm just going to go and check. I do have a Patreon question, and this is from Just Daily. Might be a bit late, but I'll try one. What Batman comics and graphic novels would you recommend for someone? Winding Gyro and Cacophony. Those are the only two I could safely recommend. So yeah, that's all I could really recommend. I do apologise. I haven't read that many, so yeah, sorry. And no Facebook or tweet questions, I think. No, that's it. So yeah, thank you for everyone who submitted questions. I hope I answered them to the best of my ability and to your satisfaction. Other than that, I think that's where I'll wrap up. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your continued support. As always, I really do appreciate it. If you've stumbled across this video, I thank you for taking the time to sit and watch it. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, also a lot of requests. Don't forget, if you want to help me out in any way, shape or form, feel free to check out my Patreon page. Just in case. But other than that, thank you for watching. As always, I'm Scotch Warren 92. I'll see you all next time. Ciao for now.